Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of Rings of Power. This is Season 2, Episode 5. It is called Halls of Stone. I assume the title means we're going to be dealing with the dwarf storyline quite a bit in this episode. Last episode, though, absolute banger. Getting both the Entwives and getting Tom Bombadil, insane. Loved it. And I'm so pumped to see where this episode takes us. So, before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into Season 2, Episode 5 of The Rings of Power. Bro, I'm sweaty as balls. Sorry, not the way you guys want me to start this reaction, but I am so sweaty. What a transition. Good God. And the rings are completed. Yeah, damn. Boy, you got some thick-ass fingers. The dwarven hands. What sort of power do these rings give the dwarves? Like, they're rings of power, but like what do they do for him? Yeah, I think he's gonna find the spot. Dig through here.
Dig here. Sire,
That's a foundation wall. Take it down.
are you explaining delvecraft to me?
Yes.
This is where we are.
Typically you don't want to dig foundations. Like you don't want to take down the wall that holds up your roof. It's bad.
Give me your axe, Father. Axe!
What if he straight up just did kill them all? Man swings once and the entire mountain comes down. This is a linchpin rock. Damn, that's a good pickaxe. That thing is cruising through that.
Sire, don't, Father, no!
Trust the process, playboys. What a champion.
Next time I order you to dig, you do so.
Okay, well, to be fair, sir, you told them to hack away at a foundation wall. These lifelong builders rightfully thought you were an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. In Kazakh Doom, we are free of its tyranny.
Yeah.
Yeah. We bring the sun to us.
We have
At last,
taken the sun.
it is daybreak once more.
Put the sun on a leash.
Our mountain.
They don't trust that.
Today, we embark upon a new dream. To enshrine our friendship in stone.
With some doors. Hell
The
yeah.
doors of Durin,
That's so cool. I love
the
it.
new west gate of our mountain. Unbreachable, visible only by moonlight, and guarded by a password known only to friends.
And it's literally just the word friend.
Watch Narvi very closely while he's here, not only because he is a masterful artist,
He's a thief.
he's also a notorious thief. Do not let
I was
any
right.
jewels go missing.
Well, dry chicken his pocket.
Sauron's like just disassociating. He's like, oh my god, what is this? He's so bored. He's like, bro, can you just let me take over already?
Too much? My remarks?
I encouraged you to keep it short.
He's like, I don't want to like these people.
Well, you do not always listen.
He's not here to make friends. He's here to dominate.
Forgive me.
He misses Galadriel.
Stay festive. And those most affected by Mordor's rise are still suffering.
Sure.
Rings for men.
That's totally exactly what you're sad about. Look at that dumb little smirk. He knows
It is a
his
game.
manipulation is perfect.
Is it not? Sowing seeds in others' minds and then convincing them that the fruit is of their own thought.
Yes, that's exactly his favorite game.
Have you ever been to Numenor?
No.
You should go soon.
It is remarkable,
Tons of waterfront property.
but fractured. Ever teetering between glory and ruin.
We cannot give rings to men. The risk of corruption is simply too great. Whatever problems we might solve would be nothing against those we could create.
Yes. You are right.
You're still gonna do it though.
Men are capable of great frailty. But when the darkness falls, there are always some who rise forth and shine.
Yeah. Like Aragorn.
Tur, Beren, son of Barahir. We find men we can trust.
Seek out the cool guys.
Wisest,
The chill dudes.
the most noble, the purest of heart, from Numenor to Rhûn. We identify 9 ring bearers of the 9 greatest mortal kingdoms. 9.
Yeah. Specifically 9. He needs a lot of them.
I am sorry. My answer is no. The rings of power are complete.
Okay, well, we're gonna drive you insane real quick. And you'll do it.
Very well.
We're gonna drive you insane.
I shall make the 9 myself.
Damn. He's like, I don't need you. And you know Celebrimbor is like, he won't stand for not being included
Across
in these
our
creations.
western seas,
So he'll
the
do it.
White Tower of Erisea, the very gateway to the Undying Lands.
You
And
can.
only from the peak of the Menel
I
Tower.
was like, you can see that
I
from here?
reckon the elves placed it there on purpose, so that every sunset serves as a reminder that our days must end, and theirs will not. But
That's
no matter how high we
taunting
climb,
them.
some things will be forever.
I bet the elves don't see it that way, though. The elves probably think they can see this and aspire to greatness like us.
The scepter is now in yours, Father. Is that not high enough?
All my life, I believed it was.
Now he needs more.
Once, when you were at her breast, your mother prophesied that you would come to ill ends.
Oh, sick. Hopefully that does happen. I hate this kid.
What did she say?
She said you were
Impress
mauled by
me
a
in the
bear.
task that I'm about to place
It was
upon you.
brutal.
And I will tell you, fail to do so, and I shall have to find other places to make use of you.
Brother, that is some cruel manipulation. Be a pawn in my game and maybe I'll tell you about your mom. Kiss. I need you guys to make
It
out.
was you who opened my heart again to the way of the faithful.
What did you see? In the Palantir?
Yeah, you did touch it.
I saw myself
Riding away from a burning city.
lost, riding from the city to I know not where.
Then you did not see it.
See what?
Perhaps it's changed.
What do you mean?
The vision.
Sometimes maintaining stillness of heart is the greatest victory of all, the greatest act of faith one can perform.
I don't understand.
Just tell him.
4 years. That Palantir has shown me only our island's downfall. But when you touched it, that vision was gone. Changed
What?
a new path.
The city was definitely on fire in the background.
You must remain the calm of the storm's eye. Go back to your ship.
While everything else rages around you. Numenorian craftsmen are so good at stuff. Like, just so great at building. Do they have to turn in their sailors' uniforms?
What's the meaning of all this?
No more sailing.
Loyal to the Queen Regent has been stripped
Oh,
of rank.
damn.
On whose authority?
Farazon. Hey, Aryan, how about you lick my butthole?
I'm sorry, I'd hoped to tell you earlier. Lord Belzegar wanted the lot of you charged with treason.
You're the worst.
Dare you reduce my grief to petty ambition?
I mean, it's
My
both.
brother is dead because Miriel peeped into an elfstone.
You mock that which is sacred.
I mock that which is absurd. Farazon is your king. Accept it, father, I beg you.
Farazon can kick rocks.
You were walking a treacherous path.
And yours is made of seawater. Take care to keep your feet beneath you. It's a long way to the bottom.
And only Jesus Christ can walk on water, girl. We know this. We know this. Have fun wading up to your knees, you dumb idiot. Don't give up that sword. It's cool.
Captain leaving deck!
Hell yeah. Stand at attention,
nobody's
boys.
captain now.
Kevin, we'll beat you to death with a rock, brother. He wants
He's
to
right.
fight back. He wants to fight.
I'm not.
Buddy Boy says otherwise.
Thank you, Captain. The Valar protects you.
That's enough.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Thank you, Captain. Valar bless you, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
I am Spartacus.
That's enough!
Thank you, Captain.
Kemen,
How do you think this ends?
I hope you
Silence!
die. No one respects your authority.
Valandiel, perhaps I can have you taken off the list. I'll speak to the king.
You would do that for me.
She likes him.
You're one of my oldest friends.
I think you've made it clear enough who your friends are.
You've picked your side, Shoddy. We don't like you anymore. You're officially uninvited to our birthday party. Kemen was never invited in the first place.
If we are to invade, we must leave now.
Damn.
Our enemy is in Mordor. Are you truly prepared to wager the future of Middle-earth on the whispers of that ring alone?
Yeah. Okay, Elrond says, this cloak is dragging me down.
Learning to hear the mountains, a gift from Owley, one that's honed and refined over a lifetime. And this, it
It's cheap. It's a
feels
shortcut.
somehow like cheating. That kind of power would test even the most virtuous of dwarves. I pray your father keeps his path true.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Doesn't matter who's wielding it.
200 for that one.
200 for a bloody rock.
It's a tuning crystal.
Tuning crystal.
I blame the king's new law. For every coin spent, another goes to the crown. Ring tribute, he calls it.
Taxes.
We'll give you 100.
100?
100.
How about 50?
How's that sound?
Like mine, shaft, robbery.
Man's a salesman.
150?
She's like, give me all of the money. Oh, what if it broke? Yo, her fancy ball is getting all scratched up. Yo. It rolled down all the way down here. This is like the beginning of a horror movie when a child kicks a ball down a hill. Or like the beginning of It when his boat is going down the stream.
What is this?
People can just wander down here? I mean, that's a sick-ass little private bath area. There it is. You might want to skedaddle. Yeah. Oh no, you spent $150 on that. Stupid Balrog breaking our broken bowling ball.
Middle Earth is
Tuning
changing.
crystal.
Its limbs are stretching. Its bones creaking. 7 rings.
7 rings for the Dwarven Kings.
7 lords. And bound within each. Power. The rings are not for you, but for your masters. But it comes with a price.
Fealty. And payment of gold.
Kazakh Doom shall never want again.
Drowning in riches, baby. You may not want to dig too far down there, though.
Should be delving much deeper.
We should not.
Who set these restrictions?
You did.
You did, sir. Decades ago.
Strike them, Guildmaster, or I'll fight.
Donde está el ring?
What is it?
This dude
You
took it. He's
took
a
it
thief.
off.
What is it? What have you done with it?
It's there, sire. You took it off. You said your hand was feeling heavy.
Damn, it is getting to him quick. Good thing the hobbits are so, like, pure of heart.
Stop to dig.
Like you look at how long it took Frodo to start to be corrupted by the true ring of power. And you compare it to how quickly he's being turned by just a normal dwarven
There's something
ring.
under the mines. Disa heard it herself. A nameless evil. Ancient and powerful. You mustn't dig.
You have your orders, Guildmaster.
Damn, not even gonna consider it. Durin, have you considered a good old-fashioned coup? Usurp your father.
There is no danger.
Brother, you're cooked. What a fun little paperweight. Man crafted himself a little golden anvil. Oh, brother. Sauron is going to be feigning incompetence. This is how I got my sister to clean the bathroom growing up, is I would pretend to be bad at it. I would suck ass at cleaning the bathroom, and then she would get annoyed and just do it herself. That's what he's planning with Celebrimbor.
We were casting a new design for a ring. Dardania was attempting to resize it.
Where is she?
It can only be done correctly by you, brother.
Look out!
It's disaster unless we have you working.
So, what happened?
I was in a place
She went into the
like this.
underworld.
Shrouded in mist and darkness.
Same place that the One
saw
Ring
right.
takes you. And
At first I thought it was the forge, burning.
It was Sauron's eye.
It was tall. And its skin was made of flames.
Oh, it could be a Balrog.
I saw its eyes. Pitiless and eternal.
She saw
I think
Sauron's
it's
true
been here.
presence.
I think it's been here among us all along.
You are with us now. There's nothing to fear.
She saw him. She saw him in the other realm.
All is well.
Like how the Nazgul looked scary.
What
He
did
probably
you
has some
do
creepy ethereal form.
Differently this time.
We sought to fortify the alloy by adding more mithril.
No.
You
If
idiot.
you wanted to do that, you should have.
See, now he has to get involved because you guys suck at it.
It would save us immeasurable hours of toil if we would offer this one single word of counsel.
In for a penny, in for a pound, brother. Come on. Let's go.
My lord
You should-
Celebrimbor. Forgive me, my lord, but Durin the Younger has arrived from Khazad-dûm.
Is it possible? The ring he's wearing.
No.
Yes.
We used the same process, Durin, the same materials, even the same tools as for the three. Now, there simply cannot be a fault in your ring.
Except Sauron.
Then maybe the fault's in the ring maker.
What do you mean?
How much do you really know about this Arnatar?
Think with your dipstick, laddie. He can hear you all the way down there.
In its light, things appear as they truly are.
And she saw you as a demon.
For what you saw, I did not wish for any of you to see. Until I had helped him to heal.
Oh, he's gonna say that she saw Celebrimbor.
Speak of
But it was actually him.
Lord Celebrimbor.
Brother.
Promise me you will speak to none other of it. Including him.
I promise.
Just sowing the seeds. He's so good at it.
Strange. When the light caught your hair,
Don't flirt with her right now.
for a moment you seemed her perfect likeness.
Galadriel.
His likeness.
My Lady Galadriel's, of course.
The goat of all elves. You creeper. What is the significance of these candle boats? Are these just like, we're mourning our lost loved ones? Is that for Isildur?
Yes.
Quenya. Guys, this is a secret.
This shrine is condemned by order of the king.
Kemen, I'm
This is the
gonna
oldest
kill
shrine
you.
in Numenor. It's in the way of the new aqueduct. Leave willingly or leave by
The
force.
oldest shrine in Numenor, and you're gonna destroy it? Kemen, we're gonna beat you to death in a back alley.
How does it feel to have a daughter
You're
who's
cooked.
ashamed of you?
How does it feel to be a whiny little punk?
Give him the relic.
Do it.
Give it to him, boy.
He's gonna break it. He's gonna chuck it on the ground and break it. This dude's the literal worst. Clock that hoe. No one gives a shit what you've been promoted to. Friendship McGee, you get to hit him too. Hell yeah.
The shrine is for the faithful. Kingsmen aren't welcome here.
I don't see you praying.
Praying on your downfall, buddy.
May the Valar forgive me.
For what?
Consider drowning him. Take his sword. Take his sword. Come on. Kill Kemen, please. What a badass. Kemen, you about to get your shit rocked, son. You punk. Kill him. Kill him, Blandil. Cut this dude's throat. Stab him. Damn. He's gonna stab you. He's gonna get up and stab you. Oh my god. Kemen. You literally killed him. 'Cause he hurt your arm? If you think that girl is gonna go out with you now, you have another thing coming. You're cleaning his blood off in their, like, prayer pool. Yeah, Kemen, you're gonna get your crap rocked.
He was the one who started the uprising.
That's so frustrating. I liked him. He stood up for what was right.
Did you, in some way,
Yes. Yes, he did.
alter the dwarven rings, yes or no?
Yes. Super yes, he did.
No.
You did. Gaslight him. Drive this man insane, Sauron. Shouldn't be cheering for you. Look at your dumb little smirk. Oh, man.
We did. What are you talking about?
You had equal parts in this.
This time we brought deceit into the process.
Deceit?
Por qué?
What deceit could you possibly...
How?
The letter.
Nah. You didn't have a pure heart.
You lied.
That was not a lie.
Super was a lie.
You must go to Lindon forthwith and confess the truth to your High King, or matters will worsen.
No, do that, he would never permit me to forge anything again.
It is either that
or make the rings for men.
We plunge straight on, even deeper into the maelstrom.
You're so good at this. You're so good.
Your desire to partner with the elves has saved our kingdom. That is why now more than ever,
He's being told like everything he probably ever wanted to hear from his father, and he's like frightened by it. He's like, this is wrong. You should not be saying these things to me.
Prince Durin.
Look at him. There's just fear.
Durin, what did he say?
Oh, he took the plate.
I tried.
Durin, no.
I tried to tell him.
She's disappointed in you.
Swear it. Swear to me that you will never wear one of those rings.
He swears on the mountain itself.
We must atone for our mistakes. In the only way we can, by
making better ones.
Completing the rings together. The 9 must be far more.
He's so good at this, like, just subtle little smirk.
They must redeem us all. I will be with you at every turn, and any of you who offer so much as a hair's breadth less than his utmost effort is a smith of a region no longer.
Damn, you're fired if you don't try your best.
Have I made myself plain?
Yes.
It starts now.
Nobody sleeps. 12-hour shifts. Nose to the grindstone, baby.
My friends, do not be discouraged. Your master may seem unreasonable.
Now he's becoming the voice of hope and reason.
I'm certain.
He's having a panic attack.
We will complete the rings of power.
He's already gained her trust by comparing her to Galadriel, the love of his life. Now she's all on board. All of them will start to trust him. He's just so good at this. And the orcs are here. How do they not hear them? They're so loud.
The orcs are not in Mordor. A legion of them are headed for Eregion. Galadriel was right. We must send the army to Eregion this moment.
That will not be possible.
¿Por qué?
I have reason to believe that Sauron is the architect of all this.
Eregion is the very jewel of Elvendom. If it were to fall, it
Let
would
it
be a
burn.
mortal blow for all in Middle-earth. You must send aid.
You must send
Our
aid.
armies cannot defeat both Adar and Sauron. Not alone.
Okay. Don't poke her with that stick. She'll break it off and shove it up your butthole. How many do we think we can take on? Don't try it. Secret knife. Secret knife. In her hairpin.
An Inksav Gogos.
Sauron. This show's so good now. Oh my god. I liked season 1, but season 2 is so freaking good. Just something about watching Sauron do his thing. Yo, I feel like this show just keeps getting better and better in subtle different ways. Like, it's crazy watching the different storylines unfold and like knowing where they're going, but still having this level of tension and this level of like fear and apprehension about what's going to happen next. Because yeah, we like generally know on a grand scale that these rings get created. We know that they corrupt those that wear them, that Sauron secretly forges one ring on his own to like control and bind all of the rest together. And then, you know, we know Isildur cuts his hand off. We know he refuses to destroy the ring at Mount Doom. We know the whole story of the Lord of the Rings. Like, we're aware that at the end of these 5 seasons, Sauron basically is going to be at his most powerful. Unless they end, that would be an interesting way. If they ended season 5, it would actually be pretty interesting if maybe they end season 4 or even season 5 with, you know, the giant battle that we see at the beginning of Fellowship. You know, when maybe that's the maybe either that's the end of season 4 or that's like partway through season 5, or maybe even towards the end of season 5, and then we see kind of like the aftermath of that. We see Isildur be corrupted by the ring. We see, you know, the groundwork being laid for the original trilogy. Like, that would be so interesting if that's where we ended things. But right now I'm not sure where they plan on ending things. I know they plan on doing 5 seasons. Like, they straight up came out and were like, yeah, like, we're obviously still doing 5 seasons. Like, that was part of the deal when they got the rights to, like, make the show. Right? Like, I feel like people keep forgetting that I'm like fairly certain, like, one of the requirements for even being allowed to purchase the rights to like make this show is that they had to commit to 5 seasons. And so, like, when I see people being like, oh, it's gonna get canceled, like, or they put out a headline that was like, you know, season 3 is in production. like they're getting ready to start making season 3. And people are like, how are they, what? Like, it's gonna get canceled. And it's like, no. Like, this show is popping off in terms of viewership. They had 40 million people view it in the first 11 days. And they committed to 5 seasons from the beginning. That's been the plan from the beginning, is 5 seasons. And they're still like, yeah, we're holding to that plan because it was required when we purchased it. Like, I don't know why people are confused about that. But yeah, no. Back to the actual contents of this episode, though. It's crazy watching these things happen, and like knowing where it's going from a larger scale, and still being like surprised and entertained about the little minute details of it. Like, we know that Numenor falls. We know that the rings get forged, but like seeing how it happens is so interesting. Like, and there are different things, the different elements of each of these storylines that like I wasn't expecting to be as invested in or have hit as hard. Like, I don't even know the character's name. The guy that died. He's not even like that pivotal of a character. Like, he's not a main character like Elrond or Galadriel or, you know, some of these other people. But like, seeing him die, like seeing him get stabbed through the chest, I was legitimately upset. Like, I was legit annoyed. Like, I already don't like Kemen. Like, he sucks. He pisses me off. Like, he's the epitome of this pretentious, like, rich kid that doesn't deserve the station he's in, like, thinks too highly of himself, has an attitude, and just ruins all the fun we're having. Like, he just sucks. And everything he does just pisses me off more and more. And so his actions in this episode, I was so mad. I was so mad. But, okay. The two main storylines of this episode are the dwarves, like the dwarven rings, and the ring creation as a whole, and then Numenor. I feel like those were the two main storylines that were happening. And so, okay, well, first of all, so in the post-episode discussion, they had the guy who plays Durin and the guy who plays Elendil talk about how their storylines are kind of parallel right now, but like contrasting, dealing with these like family rifts, where Elendil and his daughter are having a rift, and they're both going separate directions, and Durin is having a rift with his own father, and they talk about how, like, Durin the Fourth, I think is the younger one, is like slowly witnessing his father like be corrupted by this ring and change as a person. And I don't know why, but it felt very politically poignant. Like, I don't know, like, this might seem out of left field, but like it connected in my brain. Like, there's this whole epidemic going on over the last 10 years with specifically like the rise of like Donald Trump and guys like Andrew Tate in specific. Like, I think those are two of the bigger figures in this movement that I'm referencing, where you have a lot of like older men and younger men. Older men specifically with Trump, and younger guys specifically with Andrew Tate, where you are you're slowly witnessing like people you care about, like your family members, whether it be your father or your brother or your son or your cousin or a friend at work. Like, it is really, really tough to be close to someone and like you think you respect them, and you think you understand them, and you think like, this is a good person, I can trust this person to do the right thing, to be a good human being, and then you slowly like witness them drift down this dark hole of, you know, toxic masculinity, like alt-right idealism, like low-key racism, misogyny, bigotry, just all these things that these people like it was never a part of them before. Like, you always knew them as a kind, accepting person, and you just slowly had to watch as they're like engulfed in this mentality of hatred and this mentality of ignorance, like chosen ignorance, and this mentality of like toxic masculinity, and it's like, oh, it's just a heartbreaking loss, because you're seeing in real time like the death of someone you knew. Like, they're no longer the person you knew. And to tie that back into the show, like, Durin is watching his father being corrupted by this ring. Like, a man that he has known to have kindness in his heart, to have more patience, more thought, more genuine care for those around him and the environment around him. Like, he had previously set up these rules, like, don't dig too deep. We have to be stewards of the mountain. Like, we have to be cautious about what we're doing. We're not allowed to dig that deep. Now, with the ring corrupting him, he's not only like being like, nah, screw those rules, like, I don't care if I made them, like, strike those rules, dig down, I give you an order. But he's being kind of cruel about it. He's being rude, and being like, hey, anyone who refuses to dig, like, don't ever don't disrespect me again. When I tell you to dig, you dig. And it's just like, it's rough. And he's offering these rings to the other dwarven kings, but he is requiring like a payment, like a fealty to receive them. Like, he's like, you're gonna give me half of what you get from all your mines comes to me, not just like Khazad-dûm as a whole. Like, it's not like like, hey, Khazad-dûm's gonna be prosperous, everyone's gonna have, everyone's gonna touch this wealth and have that like nourish their lives. He's like, any and all things sold in the market, like 1 coin for every 5 you make, it comes to the king. like he goes from being this kind, patient, gentle, generous ruler, and as soon as he gets this ring, he is being corrupted, and he becomes greedy and angry and bitter. And it happens surprisingly quick. Like, it's I mentioned this in the reaction, but it's so interesting to compare like how he acts with this ring that he's had for like a month or a week or a day. I don't know. They don't super define the timeline of how long he's had it. But you see how quickly it affects him. And this is not even like the main ring. Like, this is the one of the lower rings. Like, I mean, it's still a ring of power, but in terms of like how it should affect you, it compared to the one ring, on a scale of 1 to 10, the one ring obviously affects you as a 10. This is probably like a 4, maybe like a 3 in terms of how it affects you. And he is so quickly being claimed by this ring, and it's wild how fast it's happening. And then you compare it with Frodo in the OG trilogy. Like, you still, like, you see some of the same behaviors, some of the lashing out, particularly towards Sam, in like Return of the King. You see that angry bitterness, that like the jealousy and the quick temper. Like, you see that start to take hold of Frodo in the end. And it's insane, like, how long the one true ring took to corrupt Frodo, and then compare that to how long it's taken one of the lesser rings to corrupt this dwarven king. And it's a testament to Frodo and the hobbits, pure of heart nature in general, right? And coinciding with this dwarven king's corruption, you have Sauron corrupting the Forge, right? You have Celebrimbor, who has just made the dwarven rings, and he's feeling good. He's like, yeah, top of my game, like, let's go build some other stuff. And Sauron's pouting. Celebrimbor is, having a celebration, and Sauron's like being a whiny little baby in the court. Like, he's straight up disassociating and like having a mini panic attack because he's like, I don't want to be here. Like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. And part of that is the manipulation, but part of that is straight up just like, he hates everyone in this room. Like, they're all so proud of their accomplishment, and he's like, my brothers in Christ, like, if it wasn't for me leading you down this path, you would be nowhere. He's internally just fuming, and he's trying desperately to get Celebrimbor to go down the path of making these rings for men, and Celebrimbor's like, no, like, I'm not gonna do it. So he pulls the classic weaponized incompetence. He straight up causes them to screw up as they're making new rings. He's like, I'll do it myself. Like, well, like, we're gonna do it without you. and they screw up, and they accidentally stumble upon invisibility and in the Shadow Realm. And Sauron is essentially like, hey man, like, this is gonna keep happening. Like, you could save us so much heartbreak and trouble if you gave a little bit of wisdom. Like, one word of wisdom can save so much time for us. Like, you don't have to be super involved, just give us one word. And he's just like, no, like, he doesn't want to do it. Meanwhile, his assistant thinks he's going crazy. I mean, he probably is, but like, his assistant is also being manipulated by Sauron. So she puts on the ring and goes into the Shadow Realm, you know, the place where Frodo goes when he puts on the ring, and Bilbo, you know, when they put on the One Ring, they go invisible, they enter the Shadow Realm, and they see, like, for instance, they see the Nazgul for, like, what they truly are, how they've been corrupted by their rings. They see the eye of Sauron just ever watching, you know, and ever burning. And Sauron tells her that, like, you see things in their true form when you're in there. And she's talking about how she saw this fiery demon. She's like, I saw this tall, smoking hot man. No, she's like, his skin was made of fire, his eyes like dark pits, like he was tall, and she doesn't realize she's talking about Sauron and like his true form and what he looks like in the Shadow Realm. And he straight up convinces her that it's Celebrimbor that she's seeing, and he's like, don't mention this to anybody. And she's like, okay, like, I won't, I promise. And then he pulls out the ultimate Rizzler move. he is like, oh my god, for a brief second you looked just like her. And she's like, who? And he's like, Galadriel. And Galadriel she's like the goat. Like, amongst the elves, I think she's the oldest or second oldest elf that is, like, there currently. Like, that in this show, like, like, the elves that are in Middle-earth right now at the moment, I think she's the oldest or second oldest elf that is around, and she's, like, widely considered to be the best. Like, she's the hottest elf, the smartest, wisest elf, other than old man McGee that shaved his beard. Like, she holds high status amongst the elves. The show hasn't done as great of a job as it probably should of portraying, like, how important Galadriel is amongst the rest of the elves and how highly regarded she is for the thousands of different reasons, like as a warrior, as a beautiful elf. Like, she's smoking hot to these elves. And so Sauron is like, you look like Galadriel for a second. She's like, I look like Galadriel? Like, you're comparing me to the goat? Like, excuse me? Like, thank you. And then he pulls the douchiest move ever. Like, like, this wouldn't work if she wasn't so into him. He brushes her hair, and it's like, brother, like, you are lucky that you are like a 6'4" Australian hunk. Like, if you were a little troll boy, if you were a small little troll boy who was gross and smelled bad, like, she would have slapped you. But he has risen her up, brother. Like, he has secured her trust and is going to infiltrate her mind at some point. I don't know exactly when, but he's going to do it. Just like he's infiltrating Celebrimbor's mind. Like, I don't even know how he does it, brother. Like, he's so good at manipulating. Like, it's a testament to both the writing of the show, like, of super subtle manipulations that they're able to write in, but then the acting from Charlie Vickers, like, these he almost looks like dead-eyed for most of the time. Like, he's just staring ahead, like like just zoned out. Like he's not even thinking about anything. His mind is probably in 1,000 other different places. Mainly, he's probably thinking about Galadriel. But the anytime his manipulation works, like when they start doing something that he wanted them to do, when he had to talk 18 circles. You know, he had to spin 35 different lies to coalesce into this one moment, and you see the manipulation work, and you see Celebrimbor say something, or the assistant say something, and you just see this little smirk, like it's barely imperceptible, like it's almost not even there. But you see it. You just see the corners of his mouth just drift up a little, and the eyes start to glow a little bit, and you're like, oh my god, you rat bastard. Like, he's a shiesty guy. Like, it's insane. But low key, as I'm watching it, I'm being sucked in, and I'm like, yeah, Sauron. I'm like, yeah, dude, manipulate these people. Like, gaslight the hell out of Celebrimbor. I love it. And it's just, you shouldn't be cheering for him, but I low-key am. And he, oh my god, the way he gets, like, the way he uses the corruption and is like, I know what happened. We did this. Like, he expertly deflects blame off of himself, right? Celebrimbor's like, did you alter the rings? And he's like, no, I didn't do that. And then he brings it, like, he simultaneously deflected blame and brought it, like, accepted it. But in his acceptance, his accepting the blame, like, being like, yeah, it actually was corrupted, it's thinly veiled, but he's putting it on everyone else, being like, we failed them. Like, he really blames Celebrimbor for it. He's like, you lied to the king. Like, we created these rings under a veil of deception. It's like, brother, like, how are you so good at this? How are you so good at adapting? Like, that's one thing I think some people get wrong about Sauron, is like, yeah, he's planning, like, he's making plans, but this isn't some, like, grand, like 50-step plan that he has been, you know, cooking for, like, decades. Like, he hasn't been, like, thinking 900 steps ahead. He just sees what is the best way in the moment to get this to work for him, and he's just so good at it that it works. He's straight up like, Celebrimbor, buddy, like, you're gonna have to come clean to the king. Like, you're gonna have to tell him what you did. And Celebrimbor's like, no. Like, that sounds awful. I'll never be able to make anything again. Like, that's his truest and purest ambition and desire, is to make things and to make beautiful things. And the idea of never being able to do that again is horrifying. So he's like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to dive all the way in. And he, I think in his heart, knows that he is being manipulated. Like, he even says something to Sauron in this episode where he's like, brother, like, you are so good at manipulating and twisting. Like, how are you doing this? And I think the moment at the end of their like, all the stuff we see of them in this episode, where he's, like, low-key crying and shaking, like, I think he knows. Like, he knows deep down that he is being manipulated, and that his works are being used for a darker purpose. But, like, while he is starting to realize it, the rest of the group is like, yeah! Like, hell yeah, Sauron, let's build these fucking rings. Like, it's great. Like, he's so good. He's so good at it, and it's wild to watch him work. It's honestly brilliant. But yes, so we had that whole thing, and then Numenor. The Numenor plotline follows mainly Elendil, Valandil, and Kemen. I feel like those are the three, and his daughter, Aerion. So Elendil, he is, I mean, obviously they came back Pharazôn has been made ruler, right? And he is stuck in this place of like loyalty to the queen and like loyalty to the old ways of Numenor, while Pharazôn and his son Kemen are like pioneering the like new Numenor, right? They want to build a different Numenor on top of the old one, essentially. Like they're willing to destroy the oldest shrine in Numenor to build an aqueduct, like something that they have in every one of their homes, like that Isildur said the other episode. Like they have aqueducts in every home in Numenor. There's thousands of them, and Kemen has decided like a new one is so important that they're willing to destroy the oldest shrine. And it's probably not even that important of an aqueduct. They probably just saw an opportunity to do this and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. And so it's like a battle between old Numenor and new Numenor, with Kemen trying to impress his father. Like he's trying to do big things, trying to take control. Aarion is like, anyone who is loyal to the queen is stripped of rank, right? No longer a soldier of Numenor, no longer a sailor of Numenor, and all these people are still loyal to Elendil and still loyal to the queen. Like they have a "Oh Captain, my captain, I am Spartacus" moment, which is real nice, But yeah, like he has this rift with his daughter, Elendil does, where they're both grieving the loss of Isildur in different ways, right? She is very much wearing her grief on the outside. She's being a lot more upfront about how she feels, and she's reacting more so in anger, because she doesn't see the larger full picture of everything that's going on. She doesn't know all of the deeper aspects of it and the wider world-reaching situations, where Elendil, he's been made more aware of everything that's going on and the importance of all of these things, and his grieving is a lot more contained, a lot more like in private. He says a little prayer during this like sequence, which I think was him praying for Isildur. Maybe he doesn't even truly believe he's dead. Maybe he can like feel that he's still alive. Which, that's gonna be such a gut wrencher when he comes back. Like when he is revealed to be alive to his family, his sister. Oh my god! Like she is overthrowing a nation. Like she's overthrowing the queen in his name because she thinks he's dead and she blames them for it. And in reality, he's not dead. He's still alive. Like she's a key part in the starting of a civil war because of how she is so angry about his death. And it's so interesting. Like they have this rift similar to the dwarves and the rift that's going on with them. Elendil is watching his daughter be corrupted by this like alt-right movement, and he's having to try and like remain calm. Like the queen is being like, I need you to be chill. Like, I know you want to start a fight. I know you want to, riot in the streets over this injustice that I have suffered. But, I need you to chill the F out and be calm, because she thinks that the fall of Numenor has been averted, because of what he saw in the Palantir, that's what it is. So he saw himself riding away on a horse with the city in the background, and he, for some reason, decided not to share with her that the city he was riding away from was on fire. Like, he's just like, I rode away. I know not where I was going. And she's like, you didn't see the city flooded? Like, that's a win. Like, we need to stop trying to fight back. Like, you risk changing things. And if he only would have told her, I'm riding away from a burning city, like, maybe she wouldn't have been so chill. But he's trying to be chill, and Kemen just keeps being a punk. Like, when he smashed that idol, I was like, yo, like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, we're gonna drag you into a back alley and murder you. Like, I mean, even his father hates him. Like, his dad is like, when you were a babe, your mother, she had a prophecy that you will die brutally. And he's like, what? Like, yeah, he's like, it's not gonna be great. It's gonna be ugly. You know, you will meet your end in a brutal way. And Kemen's like, do you want to tell me more about that? Like, do you want to tell me about my mom? And Pharazôn's like, I'll tell you about your mom if you become part of my secret evil plan. It's just like, oh my god. Like, he's like, do what I say and maybe I'll give you some morsels about your mother. He's just so outwardly mean to his son. And his son is desperately trying to impress him. And so that translates to him being a dick and breaking the breaking the little idol thing. And then, you know, he gets his shit rocked by Elendil. He punches him hard. And Kemen's like, I'm going to hit him back. And Valandil is like, nah, you're not. Like, step back, son. And then they cause a fight there. And Kemen tries to kill him. He tries to drown him. And because Valandil's like a soldier, he gets the upper hand and should have killed Kemen. Like, I wanted him to kill him. And freaking Elendil is like, don't do it. Like, we're trying to be chill. Like, we don't want to start a civil war here. And as soon as he put down the sword, I was like, that's a mistake. And then he starts walking away with his back to him. I was like, no! Like, and they made good on my worries immediately. Stab through the chest. Kemen kills him. And I, like, this is a character, he's not even a main character. Like, his screen time is not huge. I mean, he's Isildur's best friend, which is goated. Isildur is going to be furious when he figures out what happens. Like, that might be one of the driving forces of Isildur being like, hey, I'm in charge now. Because his best friend was murdered by usurpers. But freaking, like, it's like that. This is one thing that is a testament to allowing shows to continue. You know, not to like bring back The Acolyte being canceled again, and other shows like My Lady Jane being canceled, like shows that are getting canceled after one season. Like, this is a testament to allowing shows to continue, because a character like Valandil, a super, super minor character in season 1, like barely has any scenes in the grand scheme of things. He gets a couple scenes here and there, you know, season 1 ends. Season 2 comes along, and he's still not getting crazy amounts of scenes, but like, given, like, we now have him as an established character. We have grown to enjoy him, at least slightly, right? Like, he's defended characters we enjoy. He has had positive screen time. And then when he dies, even though he hasn't had massive amounts of screen time, like, the groundwork has been laid for that moment. Like, the seeds have been planted so that when he does die, it is incredibly frustrating. And you feel for this character who has had minuscule screen time over the course of 2 seasons. But because it has built to this, because we have gotten to know these characters and this world and the conflict that is ensuing, this small character dying is incredibly frustrating. And not only incredibly frustrating, but it's the death of a seemingly small, inconsequential character that is probably going to lead to massive events, right? Like, huge world-changing events are going to be stemming from the death of a character that is on screen for maybe 5 minutes over the course of 2 seasons. Like, crazy. It's crazy stuff, but it is a testament to allowing shows to develop and allowing these storylines to develop and being patient with these storylines. You know, when people talk about certain things being a little slow, or like things being inconsequential, or being like there's too many plot lines, there's too many characters that we have to keep track of. Like, when you spend time with these characters and then they coalesce, like their stories coalesce into something more, and then like that's when things get big and start changing things, and that's when it's good. And so I like, it's just a testament to like people being patient, allow the storylines to develop, allow these seemingly inconsequential characters to make massive impacts on the story. And yeah, yeah, it's gonna be insane. Like, it's gonna be a straight up civil war now. And it's eventually going to lead to the fall of Numenor, and it's wild. It's wild stuff, honestly. Like, this episode basically featured none of Galadriel or Elrond. Barely featured Elrond and the High King being like, nah, I'm not going to send elves, this is the work of Sauron. And then getting Galadriel being like, Adar being like, you know, we have a common enemy. That's basically all you get from them in this whole episode. And it's still incredibly impactful and incredibly engaging. And this show, like, it keeps getting better and better. We got 3 episodes left of this season, and I am so pumped to see where they take us. I think that's all I have to say about this episode, though. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see how you feel. Otherwise, if you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.